Howdy folks, just thought I'd do a quick video on my dual battery setup in the Super Cab 2016 Ford Ranger. I know there's a couple out there at the moment, but I just thought, hey, you can never have too much of a good thing, so let's check it out. So it's pretty easy install. I did have a mate to help me, but you could do it by yourself easily. I was going to do it on my own, but my mate decided to help me out, so I started taking up on it. So, Ford Ranger battery, when you open the hood, has that flap down, open it up, you get your positive and your negative. With the positive here on a Ford Ranger, as you can see there's quite a few terminals to come off here. I've already put a UHF in here, and I'll probably do a video on that as well in the near future, just to show you that setup as well. But I've come off the same point of the UHF as the dual battery. So I've come off this one here, little one here at the top, and that seems to be working totally fine. Close that down, there's the fuse for it, so it comes around, the positive there comes around to the fuse, which is this guy here. Positive then goes straight underneath here, if you can follow the red line, red cable, goes underneath these other ones. That's my UHF. Install that one there, and it comes around, see if I can get a shot of it, to the Anderson plug, which is I've tucked in under there, under the fuse box sort of outlet here. Sits quite there quite nicely, and you can see that splice cable here that I've put in, which then goes down underneath the engine and towards the back. So straight down to the ground, drop it down. It's the easiest way to do it. The negative, obviously, I've just come off the negative terminal on the battery here. As you can see, there's that split conduit. I've just fed it through. Be careful with these Rangers when you do it. I had a little bit of trouble keeping the negative on that battery on the negative, and the actual car itself sort of re-arced, I suppose is what you'd call it. And when I turned the Ranger back on, it had to go through its whole startup system as if we just put a new battery in, and the Sync 3 thing, went nuts. But it all came back and it was all fine. All my settings are still the same inside the car, all that kind of thing. There was no real issue. So just be careful with that. So that'll pop out down the bottom there, underneath. Like I said, I'll do a cutaway and just show you up in the chassis rail. I didn't go in the chassis rail like some people have. I just went up on top of the chassis rail. You'll see some other lines that are already running along there, and zip tied it to that basically. The kit comes with zip ties. It's the Kickass 120 amp hour battery kit that I got, the ultimate kit, which comes with a 240 volt charger, which is quite nice. I'll show you that in a second. So that came and it ran all the way down the chassis rail to here. Now obviously being a super cab, you've only got the little window and the cab itself, so it's not like there's a double cab with 4 doors and that sort of stuff. These are doors, but they're suicide doors which open out. And obviously you've got the big tub. Excuse the mess in the tub, I've just sort of pulled the tonneau cover across for the video just to show you how it all happens. And again, I'll do a cutaway here and just show you how I've got the cable up. You get the cable to here, under here in the chassis rail, behind the step, and there's actually a gap behind this panel here that comes on up. And inside the tub, on these super cabs, and I presume it's the same in the others, who have this sports bar with the brake light setup going on, that you'll have this little spot here where you can actually come out of. So it comes up from the bottom into here, and inside here this flips up. If I can make it flip up, you can see the connector. It actually goes up to the brake light for the sports bar. So there's already a cable running through there. So I just dropped literally this guy down the strap, which falls straight down through here. There's a little hole in between here and here. This clips off. I won't do it now, but you pull it straight down and there's a clip that comes off, and you can get right up in here and access this down up through here as much as you want. Plenty of room for plenty of cable. And what I've done here is, this is the end, straight from the battery here. I've just got the old weather protector on there, just to connect him, keep him safe if it ever rains in the back here. And then I just went out to Bunnings and got a $2.50 hook. As you can see, there's a nice little hole here next to this bolt. Put the hook through there. What it's done is kept the excess out of the tray. So if all this gets wet, don't need to worry about my cable going straight to the battery, sitting in the water. Drops down there, that's the front of the car, front left wheel. And then what you do is you come up here, it's easier without this thing. You can see all these other looms coming across, and literally you just go up and you follow them across like I have here, follow them along down to the back of your vehicle. That's the fuel tank here. Follow it up and along. Again, I didn't go inside the chassis rail, I just went on top with all these other lines, and obviously you can see there I've zip tied, so you just zip tie along. Easy as that. I'll just show you where we go up at the tub. Alrighty folks, we're a bit further down the car now. You can still see the chassis rail, so we're literally on top of it. What you'll see, as I pan up, you'll see our conduit here, our split tubing. So you can see the others here as well, that are here with the factory. That one there, that little one, goes up into the brake light in the sports bar. So we've literally followed that up, as you can see, and straight up, and that literally comes to the top of the sports bar there. If you feed down a something really light like a ratchet strap end, the loose end obviously, you can easily just lecky tape it to that, pull it straight up, and it came up. No dramas at all, not a single issue. Yeah, easy as that. It doesn't come with the split tubing on it, or this wire from the main battery. I just put that on there for a little bit of extra protection. You know, you can never be too careful with these things, especially electrics. And I can't quite get my hands under there to show you the angle, but that goes right up into the tub, and you'll be able to pull it through, easy as. This is the battery kit itself, essentially. Obviously all the wiring's in the truck. Comes with the Kickass DC to DC solar charger there, so you can obviously run it off your battery when you're driving. And with the premium kit, you can actually go, if you've got solar panels, you don't even need a regulator, which opens it up to a whole new ball game. You don't need to make sure that you've got a regulator. Any solar panel, even if you've bought one and it doesn't have a regulator on it, doesn't matter, plug it straight in and she'll charge up. This is the 240 charger. Works really, really well. What I have noticed though is it gets really hot. It is summer here at the moment, obviously. It's in a garage with not much ventilation. So what I've done is I've just went out to local store and grabbed a I think it was $5 or $7 or something, little tiny fan, and just keep him on that. And look, I think it would be fine because there's heaps of heat, you know, places for all the heat to escape. It's even got its own fan in it. But I'm like, hey, if this thing doesn't need to work that hard and I can keep it, you know, in a nice, good state, if that just means buying a $5 fan to sit next to it, hey, I'm happy to do that. That comes out of here. It doesn't have this split tubing on it. This is your charger into the battery itself. I just put the split tubing on it myself, just because these wires here, when they come out of this, are just sort of, they're not loose, but they're separate. They're separated. At least this way it keeps it sort of together. The plug on it is already on the kit, so you don't need to worry about wiring anything like that up. Yeah, it's a great little unit. Very, very impressed. The quality of it's amazing. I've run 2 fridges off it so far, 235 litres, and just had it on the DC to DC charger when I was driving around, and stopped in for lunch at the pub a few times, and the alternator obviously turns off in the Ranger, but and the fridge just kept going straight off the battery, and I was in the pubs for, you know, an hour or 2 hours, whatever, and came back and the voltage meter was still nice and high, nowhere near any of these levels. 12.7, 12.5, you know, it wasn't even touching that, it was still sort of above 12.7, which was fantastic. You do get these with it. Anderson to your clamps there. If you need to go straight to the battery or anything like that, I don't think I'm ever going to need them, but hey, it's nice to have them. I just picked this one up from super cheap. I meant to order it off the Kickass website, but I forgot. I needed it in a pinch. Anderson to female SIG socket. I did find that one of my fridges didn't quite sit nicely in here. Sort of had to sit on a lean for it to fit properly. But with that little converter, straight into the Anderson, obviously, no dramas at all. 12 volt, unregulated solar, and when you're coming off the car, which is that cable I had over there, in the back of the tray, that goes straight into there. And that's it. She's a beauty. Well worth the money. It's a big investment for some people. It was for me. I've been putting it off for ages, but now I'm very excited about going camping and being able to have the fridges and, you know, fresh food for a long time now, essentially. Almost endless. It's quite a little neat setup to strap it in, to keep it in place. I've just got this ratchet at the moment, and ratchet around the battery, and that keeps us in place. No dramas at all. Just so I quickly show you what it looks like with it in the tub. So I've ratchet up in the back corner here. Still plenty of room in the tub. I've actually got it plugged in to the car now. You can really see it, but it's there. Yeah, the DC-DC charger obviously recognises that it's an AGM battery. It's already set to AGM, I should say. It doesn't recognise it. You have to tell it, and you can see that the alternator light is flashing, and it'll continue to flash until I start driving. So even if I turn this on, when you initially turn it on for half a minute or so, you'll get that solid, because there's enough charge from the initial output of the car battery. But then if you just let it idle, it'll start flashing again to tell you that it's not actually charging. And then once you cruise around, get the car going, this charging light down here will go solid, and you know you're charging. I'm currently sitting at, well, you can really see it, 13.4 volts, but obviously LED doesn't work. But yeah, with that excess cable, I mean that's 6 meters long, and from the battery to here, and you can tell I've got heaps of excess. I can get pretty much anywhere in the tub, except that back corner. I could get over to that back corner if I was just to run it straight across the tub, but everywhere else in here I can get that battery if I need it. And I love being able to pull up at camp now, and I can just pull it out of the back of the tub if I want to have it at the actual campsite and that kind of thing, instead of having to run leads from a car, which is nice. So yeah, that's how she looks. I haven't done up the strap just because it's for the video, but it doesn't move when it's all locked away, and you can tell it barely takes up any room. I get my fridge sitting in this tub here, in this section of the tub, the cutaway. Sits there quite nicely. And that strap just holds that one in, holds the fridge in. Like I said, I am going to look at getting a battery tray, but I'm just not convinced that's exactly where I want it yet. And I think if I get the tray, I'll be able to lose the ability to take it in and out of the tub as easy. So ratchets work just fine for me. And that's about it. Thanks guys. Any questions, let me know.